Thank you very much, everyone, for coming. I really appreciate you being here tonight. My name is Walter White. I'm the president of the Milton Rotary Club this year. And I just want to welcome you to our memorial tree lighting ceremony tonight. And it's really great to see a good number of people here tonight. I want to thank a few people. We have the high school holiday carolers here tonight who are going to give us some music after we do the memorial service. So Julia Hanna and the high school carolers are here. I want to thank Maggie Oldfield of Thayer Nursery. She donated this beautiful tree that you see here tonight. And I just want you to know that all the funds we raise here are going to Milton High School scholarships, foreign exchange programs, the Polio Plus elimination program through Rotary International, and various other Milton and district and international Rotary service programs. And without funds, we're kind of limited in what we can do. So we really appreciate your generosity. I also want to recognize some folks here tonight. With us is Roxanne Musto. She serves on our select board with the town. And State Senator Walter Timilty is here with us tonight. Appreciate Walter coming out. And we also have Angela Ponte, who is from the Quincy Rotary Club, and she is the current district governor of what's known as District 7950, which encompasses southeastern Mass, Cape Cod, and the state of Rhode Island in the islands. And Joe Clancy is a past district governor of District 7950, so I'm really happy Angela was able to come over. And I apologize for if I missed anybody in the crowd that is from either the Weymouth or Braintree Rotary Clubs, so I appreciate you being here too. So what we're going to do is we're going to read, we have two memorial stars, we call them. One is Joe Clancy and one is Eddie Baker. Both really, really community-oriented, fine men who served the town of Milton for a long time. So we're going to read the tribute to them first, and I think after we read each tribute, we will have the families come up for a quick picture, and then once we do those two tributes, then we will go through the list of people who are on the remaining memorial lights, the sponsor memorial lights, and the patron angel lights. And we will read their names, and then every 8 or 10 names, we will ring a bell in their memory. And then we'll be done, and that shouldn't take too long. So, I just want to, we're going to have past president of the Milton Club, Bob Reitz, read Joe Clancy's page. And again, I want to thank you very much, and I hope you appreciate this ceremony tonight. This is our gift to you for, the gift that you've given to us. So I really hope you appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Walter. As a longtime Milton Rotarian, I knew Joe Clancy for many, many years, and a valued friend and fellow Rotarian. Joseph P. Clancy passed away peacefully on November 8, 2023. Joe was born in County Leitrim, Ireland. At age 19, he followed his brother Tommy and moved to the U.S. Soon thereafter, Joe met the love of his life, Geraldine DeCourcy, at a dance in Dorchester, and they married in November, not close enough, thank you, 1969. Joe was welcomed with open arms by the DeCourcy family of Roundstone County, Galway. Joe and his partner, Jack Tullish, embarked on a successful real estate sales career. Joe shared a lifelong passion for investing in real estate, and some of his proudest business successes with his investment partner and closest friend, Bob Tullis. Joe loved his years being involved in Rotary and the many friendships that were formed. He was a past president of the Weymouth Rotary Club and was the district governor for District 7950 in 2012. He was an inspirational and compassionate leader in the district and continued to be a friend and mentor to Rotary. Joe was proud to have raised his family in the town of Milton. Some of the happiest moments of his life were at Cunningham Park and Churchill's Lane, coaching the Orioles and Kiwanis. He loved watching the Milton AC summer ball teams, and he was immensely proud to be recently inducted into the Milton American Little League Hall of Fame. In his later years, Joe could be seen enjoying as many sports games and events as he could on those same fields, watching his grandkids. He loved to travel back and forth from Milton to Braintree and all over Massachusetts, watching his grandkids at sporting events and dance competitions. Joe's greatest joy was spending time with his grandchildren, and their greatest joy was spending time with their papa. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Now, would the members of the Clancy family please come up for a quick picture? I know there's a bunch of you here, so why don't you come on up and we'll just have a quick photo and then we'll move on to Eddie Baker. Thank you. And before we do Ed Baker, I just wanted to ask Mike Clancy to say a couple of words. Mike is Joe's son.
Thank you, Walter. My name is Mike Clancy. I'm Joe Clancy's oldest son. I'm proud to be here on behalf of, with my family, my mom, Geraldine, and my brothers, Joe, Michelle, and Erin, my two sisters. We miss Dad incredibly. It was a month ago today he passed away. And I remember when the hectic week after Dad passed, we had met with Jed Dolan at Dolan Funeral Home, who was wonderful to our family. And he had mentioned that in lieu of flowers, sometimes people will give donations to a charity that is near and dear to their heart. And without even blinking an eye, my mom yelled out Rotary. Rotary is such a huge part of my dad's life. He was a Weymouth Rotarian, but being here, being honored by the Milton Club, Walter White, Mike Mahalik, Bob Reitz, thank you, Angela, for being here. It means a lot to him. The town of Milton was a huge part of his life. He loved this town. He loved being a part of this town. He loved Milton High football, Milton High baseball, Milton High hockey, and he was real proud to be a resident of Milton, and he'll be forever missed. And thank you very much for this honor. We're humbled.
Thank you, Mike. Much appreciated. So now we move on to Eddie Baker. Edward Eddie Henry Baker passed away peacefully on May 9th, 2023. Ed was born in 1933 and grew up in Milton. He was a graduate of Milton High School and Stonehill College. He spent the early part of his career working with his father, Henry Baker, at Baker Hot Top, an asphalt and paving company. Ed then served as park commissioner for the town of Milton until retirement. Until recently, Ed was sports editor at the Milton Times, known for his regular column with the athletes. And I know many people from Milton were featured in Ed's column, and you were always called, St. Mary of the Hills Star or Northeastern University Star, or he referred to everyone as a star, so that was really Ed's signature. Ed was passionate about sports, often seen sitting on the sidelines at local high school and college sporting events and serving as a local referee. An avid runner, Ed regularly ran the Boston Marathon and Falmouth Road Race for over 2 decades. Had also enjoyed swimming, hiking, and jogging in his local running groups in both Milton and Bourne. Active until the end, Ed was regularly spotted on his daily walks around Milton and Dorchester, and always appreciated the lift back home if you gave him one. Throughout his lifetime, Ed gave generously to local organizations. He was a donor to Boston College, Curry College, and Stonehill College, and ran a scholarship program for the graduates of Milton High School. He was also a supporter of the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute and Milton Hospital. So would the members of the Baker family, Ed's nieces and nephews and those folks, would you like to come up now for a picture, please? Thank you very much. Is there anybody else? Walter Timothy, would you like to say anything about Eddie Baker? I knew you were good friends. Eddie was a good friend of my father-in-law's, a childhood friend. So I have a few Eddie Baker stories, but not all that we can share here tonight.
I'm sure you do. Walter, thank you very much. Good evening to everybody. Merry Christmas and a Happy Hanukkah. My compliments to the Rotary tonight for celebrating two wonderful men, Joe Clancy and Eddie Baker. They were both, I'm fortunate to say, as a kid, they were friends with my parents, both Mr. Clancy. Of course, I always said Mr. Clancy and Mr. Baker back then. Eventually, it still became Mr. Clancy and Eddie. But two wonderful people who just gave everything of themselves to the town. And whenever you met them, they were perfect gentlemen. And they treated everybody with dignity and respect, and you felt a lot better when you left them than when you first greeted them. And I would say that was the hallmark for both individuals. They gave everything of themselves to every community that they touched. You know, with Mr. Clancy, of course, it was Weymouth, his business community, the town of Milton, East Milton, Milton American Little League, where he's a Hall of Famer. And with Eddie, it was, of course, Milton High and Stonehill College. The work he did with the parks, and of course the work he did with Stonehill College, and with Eddie down the Cape. He was often at the chart room in Katomet and a lot of places between Pocasset and Falmouth, but in both cases you can truly say of Eddie Baker and Joe Clancy, they were great Americans and wonderful citizens of this town. So God bless them both, and thank you, Walter, for allowing me to talk about my friends. Thank you.
Thank you, Walter. Really appreciate it. So now we will get on with the reading of the names of the people who have been remembered tonight. So what we'll do is about every 8 or 10 names, we'll ring the bell in those person's memory. So the first group we have are the Memorialite people, Memorialite donors. And we start with Paul F. Berry, Elizabeth Bogardus, James Callahan, Bill Creamer, Mary Creamer, Mary Deary, Michael A. Devon, Tony DiBartolomeo, J. William Dolan, M.D., Maureen Hartnett Dolan, and Paul F. Dolan. Mr. and Mrs. Andrew J. Donahue, Jr., Maureen Dworkin, Paul Fulsham, Thomas J. Gunning, Constance R. Harrison, John A. Hahn, Mary Hahn, Ted Hayes, Mary M. Kelly, Chris Klein, Effie McIsaac, John L. McIsaac, John Nelson and Eleanor McLeod, Peter McGuire, Anne Marie Maker, Mary Frances Maker, William Walter Maker, William Anthony Maker. And William Walter Maker again. Dorothy Nelson, Gunnar Nelson, Thomas and Grace O'Leary, Thomas O'Sullivan, Mr. and Mrs. Henry Oumet, Arthur A. Pierce Jr., David Powers, Cotton Ramey, John F. Reardon Jr., Dr. John R. Schiffman, Richard Stanton, Frank Stout, Andrew Strang, Edward T. Sullivan, Margaret Sullivan, William Sullivan. The deceased members of the Soucy family: Frank L. Viola, Dr. and Mrs. David F. Wagoner, Julie Affinado Wallace, Jack Walsh, Kay Walsh, Patricia Walsh, and Mr. and Mrs. Merton B. Warner. And now Bob Reitz is going to read some of the next names.
Okay, the sponsor memorial light: Patricia Alietta, Jillian Beach, Louise Bergquist, Alice May Bowen, Aubrey Bowen, Bruce Bowen, Beverly Carlson, Joseph Chicolo, Lillian Chicolo. Billy Coleman, Dolly Coleman, Bill Curry, Teresa Curry, Carrie Daly, Vernon C. Daly, Judith Darrell Kemp, Christina Feeney, Richard Janadis, Francis Hatch, Walter Hatch, Robert Howard Sr., Alani Grace Jones, Marie Lake, George J. Leary, Honorable Paul K. Leary, Danny Macedo, Angela and Joseph Mascari, Joan W. New, Gwendolyn Neville, Kevin O'Toole, Tommy O'Toole, Tom O'Toole, Dr. Wayne A. Perkins, Anthony Petricka, Carlo Petricka, Gina Petricka, Nino Petricka, Betsy Phillips, Debbie Phillips, Philip Phillips, John J. Reddington Jr., Alice and William A. Riley, William A. Riley Jr., Doug Smith. And for the next page, Michael Mahalchik will read these names.
Thanks, Bob. Frank J. Agostino, Richard D. Armstrong, Jr., Dave Beery, Charles Caputo, John and Mary Cook, Charles C. Copeland, Deborah A. Davis, and Don Dusnap. Clifton R. DiTullio, past president. Louise M. DiTullio. Gregory J. Doyle. Frank and Ann Garvey. Helen and Joe Graziani. Joseph D. Graziani Jr. Robert and Joanne Kaler. Philip E. Labonte. Mark McDougall. Paul and Claire Mahalchik. Patrick J. and Donnie Manning. Patricia McDermott. Sarah O'Donnell. John and Barbara O'Malley. Harry and Mary Osborne, John J. Shea, Joanne D. Shea, Bob and Mary Sheffield. Toby and Janet Stevens, Alfred D. Thomas, Claire and William White, Walter C. White Sr., Frank Driscoll, Nora Driscoll, Dorothy Maloney, Bob and Grace Weiss. Betsy Phillips, Debbie Phillips, Philip Phillips, John J. Reddington Jr., Alice and William A. Riley, William A. Riley Jr., and Doug Smith. Let's take a moment in silence and give thanks for the gift of all these remembered people gave us when they were here. God bless them all. And now I believe we transition to the musical part. Mr. President, right? Is that the next thing that happens? So if you're a singer, come forward. And while I have the microphone, I just want to ask you, can I join the chorus? Of course, you may. Okay. This is my favorite part of the whole thing.
Okay, so we're gonna have organized
Here you
voice
go,
parts, sopranos, altos, basses over here. A couple of you guys get on the first step. We get sopranos behind. Let's get tenors and basses in front, sopranos behind.
You have to go stand in your section.
Yeah. Tenor? So you're with these guys right here.
These guys right here, okay.
Yeah. We're starting with Deck the Halls.
Does anyone else want to join the singers?
Feel free to sing along. Yeah, you can sing along. All right, we're gonna start with Deck the Halls. Do we have pitches? Anyone know the pitches? All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, sing.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol, fa la 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 la. See the blazing Yule before us, fa la 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 la. Strike the harp and join the chorus, fa la 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 la. Follow me in merry measure, fa la 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 la. While I tell of Yuletide treasure, fa la 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 la. Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol, fa la 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 la.
Okay, next is Silent Night. Alright, we got it, basically got it. Alright, ready? 1, 2, 3, ready, sing.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. Round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant so tender and mild, sleep in Okay, okay. All right, ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let us our songs employ, while fields and floods, rocks, hills and plains, repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love. Perfect. All right, ready? And the bleak with this. We good? 1, 2, 3, ready, sing. In the bleak midwinter, frosty wind made moan. Earth stood hard as iron, water like a stone. Snow had fallen, snow on snow, snow on snow. In the bleak midwinter, long ago, angels and archangels may have gathered there. Cherubim and seraphim thronged the air, but only his mother, in her maiden bliss, worshipped the beloved with a kiss. What can I give him, poor as I am? If I were a shepherd, I would bring a lamb. If I were a wise man, I would do my part. Yet what can I give him? Give my heart. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, sing. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the skies. With angelic hosts proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Christ by highest heaven adored, Christ the everlasting Lord. Late in time, behold him come, offspring of a virgin's womb. Veiled in flesh the Godhead see, hail the incarnate deity. Pleased as man with man to dwell, Jesus our Emmanuel. Hark the herald angels sing, glory mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the skies. With angelic hosts proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Okay, carol the bells.
I'll be a spectator.
Ready to go?
Carol the bells.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, ready, sing.
Hark how the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw all cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old, meek and the bold.
Ding dong, ding dong. One seems to hear words of the cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how happy are their tones. Ding dong, ding dong, ding, ding dong, ding, ding dong, ding.
All they send on without end, their joyful tones to every home. Hark how the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw all cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old, meek and the bold.
Ding dong, ding dong. One seems to hear words of the cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how happy are their tones. Ding dong, ding dong, ding, ding dong, ding, ding dong. On how they send on without end their joyful tone to every home.
Ding dong, ding dong.
Dong.
And we have one final thing for you tonight. For all our friends and neighbors celebrating Hanukkah. This is called Shalom Chaverim. It means peace, friends, until we meet again. Tag it, sorry, please. Okay, so once together, and then we start the round from not this one. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Shalom Haverim, Shalom Haverim, Shalom, Shalom, Lehitraot, Lehitraot, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Haverim, Shalom Haverim, Shalom, Shalom, Lehitraot, Lehitraot, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Haverim, Shalom Haverim, Shalom, Shalom, Lehitraot, Lehitraot, Shalom, Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
Thank you for having us, everybody.
Thank you very much. Another round of applause for our singers tonight. Is Julia Hanna here tonight?
She is not. She could not make it tonight.
Okay. Can one of you see me before you go?
Of course,
Because
yes.
we're going to make a donation to your
Thank you so
your
much.
fund. So see me before you go, okay?
Okay, thank you.
So thank you everyone. Thank you everyone. Thank you very much everyone for coming tonight. I really appreciate you being here. I can't say that enough. I hope you enjoyed the program, and I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that we're standing in the Baron Hugo Lira gazebo. Baron Hugo Lira was a band leader back in the 40s and 50s. He was also a longtime Milton Rotarian and did a lot for music in the town of Milton, especially with the schools. And he donated the money to build this gazebo, I think in sometime in the 1980s. So I always like to remember Baron Hugo when we're here enjoying this beautiful gazebo. This was actually the site of the original town hall, right where we're standing now. And it was torn down in 1970, and they built the town hall behind us. So there's a little bit of history for you. And thank you again for coming. I really appreciate it, and I hope you had an enjoyable time. Thanks very much.
My sister's son, one dad's good friend, Barbara.
Oh my gosh.
Joe is a wonderful friend, colleague, actually.
Him and Bob have known